Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Virtual Funcup European Series, this round number 2. Very excited to bring you the second round of racing after what was a fantastic first round. And the same voices to talk you through that, myself, Chris McCarthy, joined by good friend Guillaume Alvarez. Guillaume, how are you doing?
I'm very good, Chris. Thanks again for having me tonight. It's going to be another exciting night of racing on Assetto Corsa and the second round, as you said, of the European Series of W Fun Cup. And once again, a great pleasure to be at your side to commentate on this beautiful racetrack of Dijon in France.
Okay, everyone. Well, we are getting ready to go for the second round of the Virtual Funcup European Series here from Dijon. And the grid is set. The drivers are getting themselves ready to go. And very shortly, we will be underway and racing. It's going to be a fantastic race, I'm sure. Guillaume Alvarez is alongside me. Guillaume, your thoughts ahead of this one?
Yeah, good evening once again, everyone. Good evening, Chris. And once again, it's going to be a great race to follow all together and such a great event, such a great location here in Dijon.
Right, here we go then. Lights are now coming on. Virtual Funcup European Series, round number 2 from Dijon is go. And they are away and racing then. Down towards turn number 1 we go, and we can see Hugo de Wilde is leading the way as we make our way. Oh, incidents off in the background, but coming down towards turn number 1, the door has opened here, and Max Leonard is going to dive down the inside of Hugo de Wilde, and Max Leonard has gone through. Riley Phillips trying to go through with him into second place, and indeed he has done so. There we have Hugo de Wilde dropping down towards third. Julian Skeen is in fourth as they make their way downhill on this first lap. Max Leonard having to defend here from Riley Phillips. Hugo de Wilde trying to get down the inside of Riley Phillips, just a little bit of contact, and Hugo de Wilde has gone through. So all of this has given Max Leonard just a little bit of breathing space out front. Hugo de Wilde having to defend here from Riley Phillips as they come up through the right uphill right-hander. Max Leonard with a bit of a gap. We'll have a look now at Hugo de Wilde in second. We can focus on him quickly as he has both Riley Phillips and Julian Skeen just behind, and then the Laquiers brothers are fighting away there with Jay Shepherd, and the light blue car in the background, that is Piers Stockton. He is in 8th place on this opening lap. But let's jump on board with our 4th place driver, Julian Skeen, Guillaume, as we round out the first lap. Looks like he has just gone down the inside of Riley Phillips. He's now gone into third. We're on board with Julian Skeen, and we have ahead of us both Hugo de Wilde, and then just ahead of him our race leader.
Yeah, what a first lap it was indeed from both Hugo de Wilde and Riley Phillips, and that's unlike that we've seen in Assen. Hugo de Wilde was able to make his way up to first position and to keep his advantage, and we see a good battle going on between Julien Chaine and behind him. This is Riley Phillips, coming up in third position. Maxime Linaire leading the way down into the first corner. Donc un premier tour vraiment très serré, et contrairement à ce qu'on a vu à Assen il y a 2 semaines, eh bien Hugo de Wilde n'est pas parvenu à reprendre l'avantage sur Riley Phillips. Pour l'instant, c'est Maxime Linaire qui mène la danse. Riley Phillips en 3e position, qui va peut-être tenter de ravir la 2e place aux jeunes Belges après s'être intégré en 3e place au détriment de Julien Chaine. C'est une très belle manœuvre de dépassement dans le premier virage, et on voit ici le peloton encore très compact. Maxime Linaire en première position, Hugo de Wilde dans sa roue et qui va tenter peut-être déjà de lui ravir le leadership dans ses premiers instants d'épreuve. Et puis nous avons le duel pour la 2e place entre Riley Phillips et Julien Chaine, et vous l'avez dit Chris, Piers Stockton en 5e position, et puis les frères Antoine et Louis Lachiez en 6e et 7e place, alors que c'est très serré là-bas dans la remontée du 3e secteur. What a start of the race, but as we said, Hugo de Wilde in 2nd position wasn't able, Chris, to keep the first place as he did in Assen 2 weeks ago.
Yep, let's jump on board with Hugo de Wilde as he dives down the inside here of Max Leonard. I was about to think, was he going to be working with Max Leonard? But Hugo de Wilde has now gone through, and now we have this long run down towards turn number 1. Let's jump out view, and we can have a look now, once we jump out of the car, that Hugo de Wilde is side by side with Max Leonard, and behind, side by side action going on there between Riley Phillips and Julian Skeen. Julian Skeen to the inside of Riley Phillips, so 2 by 2 they go in towards turn number one here at Dijon. Hugo de Wilde gets down the inside there of Max Leonard to take the race lead. And behind that, it looks like Riley Phillips is still side by side there. We'll go back to him. He's side by side still with Julian Skeen. Julian Skeen has now gone through and into third place. Let's have a look what's going on behind this. It looks like if we jump back to fifth place, we can see Piers Stockton is under pressure here from Antoine Lacquiers, the two brothers, sixth and seventh place. Jay Shepherd trying to go with them in eighth. Then a big gap back to Vincent de Clouseau, Guillaume, who's had a good start to the race. He is in ninth.
Yeah, and is battling all the way through this upper part of the field in this, as we can see, and some of the drivers going around the outside a bit, outside of the track as we speak. But Piers Stockton and Riley Phillips in fourth position. Piers Stockton under pressure, as you said, from the Lacquiers brother. Now this is going to be tricky for them to get past the British driver, but good work so far from them both. As we have around the just outside the top 10, as we have Eric FC down in 10th, Charlie Hart in 11, Robin Donat in 12, David Zager down in 13th position, the Belgian driver, who has had not so many great memories of Dijon, but a bit of experience on this very track. Then we have Skingel in 14th place, 15th place for Xavier Well, and the rest of the field. And the battle is going on once again for third position between Julien Shane and Riley Phillips. And Riley Phillips has just made his way up to third, but Johnny Shane, I think, is going to try to fight back into the first corner. Yes, he does, and back into third position once again. We're into the first laps, and they're going side by side down into the second sector.
Yeah, great stuff here. We'll jump on board now with Riley Phillips and have a look at his camera angle here so we can see just ahead of us there is third place, Julian Skeen. It's now whether Riley Phillips here decides to work with Julian, because there isn't a big gap really. Max Leonard and Hugo de Wilde are pretty much just there. You'd have to say that this is a lead quartet rather than two groups of two now. Then we have a 3-second gap behind us where we find the likes of Louis Lacquiers, Piers Stockton, Jay Shepherd and Antoine Lacquiers. So there's been a couple of changes there, but we remain on board here with Riley Phillips as we go down towards this double left-hander. Still a long way to go in this race. It's an hour race. This is only the second round in the championship. We are currently with Riley Phillips ahead of us, and leading the race is Hugo de Wilde. He's trying to break away, but Max Leonard trying to stay with him. The gap is just under a second as they come round to complete another lap. Yeah, we're on board here with Julian Sheen. We've got Hugo de Wilde just up the road, less than a second. So Julian Sheen still with him. He could do with a little bit of a nudge here from Max Leonard. So we're staying with the leaders. We are, I promise you, going to look down the field as well. But this battle, which is really hard to take your eyes off. We've got the little arrow at the bottom of the screen telling us that Max Leonard is just behind. Julian Sheen needs to try and stay in the tow, but he's now going to give the tow of Hugo de Wilde to Max Leonard. So kind of IndyCar, NASCAR style racing this, isn't it, Guillaume? They're just letting each other go, but now it seems that they're going to fight each other too hard. We'll have to look outside the car and see what's going on here. So Julian Skeen just going down just on the inside here, defending from Max Leonard. Max Leonard was briefly ahead, drops back in behind. I fear, Guillaume, they're just fighting too hard here in a race with 51 minutes to go.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's a little bit too soon for them to battle that hard. And, we would expect those drivers to try to work together to decrease the gap on the leader, for example. But, they just give everything that they have already at that early stage in the race. So we'll see, as we go through the race, we'll see if that strategy pays off. But in terms of tire consumption and tire wear, that might not be the best of the options that those drivers want to take, as this Dijon circuit is very, very demanding, not only on the tires, but on the cars as well. And still, this is a beautiful battle that we can see there side by side in the middle sector of the track. And Maxime Leonard is making his way past Julien Shane for second position. And Riley Phillips is doing actually a pretty decent job down in fourth position. He's observing, he's watching closely as we do what's going to happen between those two, because in that sort of situation, an incident is sometimes, likely to happen. If you got a touch, maybe one or the two drivers could go off track, and this could profit to one of the drivers following. But we're not there yet. But this is good battle. But after only 10 minutes, a bit less than that. This is maybe a bit too early for one of the drivers, as Julien Chine is making his way, up to second place down into the first sector. But Maxime Lénard is down into the first corner, around the inside, beautifully made by Maxime Lénard, back into second position. But Julien Chine has still something to say in this battle.
Yeah, we're on board here with Julian Sheen. Oh, the contact there with Max Leonard. What happened? Have to go out. Just have to have a look there. I'm not too sure. But Max Leonard has disappeared. Let's try and find out where he is. Just going back to fourth place, I can see Max Leonard has lost a huge amount of time there. What a real shame. That was just appeared to be a slight bit of contact. And it just put Max Leonard's car out of shape. And Max Leonard is now 2.5 seconds away from third place driver Riley Phillips. What a shame that was, Guillaume. Just has broken up what was a fantastic battle there. So good stuff. Yeah, we just were on board with Jay Shepherd there. Just going to have a look at what's going on from outside of the car now, because Jay Shepherd there side by side with Laquiers. A fantastic battle this. I thought I was going to see more working together here, and again with this, Jay Shepherd fighting away with Louis Laquiers, and Pierce Stockton I think will be happy to see that. So who is this we have closing in? Let's have a look behind. Antoine Laquiers is the driver that is now closing in on these guys. He is only 8/10 behind. I'm just going to, while we jump on board with Antoine Laquiers, I'm just going to do a quick run through of the top 10. So it's Hugo de Wilde, Julian Skeen, Riley Phillips, Max Leonard, Pierce Stockton, Jay Shepherd, then Louis and Antoine Laquiers. Antoine, we are on board with David de Seeger, Charlie Hart, who is only 11 years old. He's in 10th place, youngest driver across the Virtual Funcup All UK Series. De Cluzo, and then Chinkel, Xavier Ville, Eric Steenle, then we have Eric Steenlein, then we have Pierre-Andre Guillaume, Axel Soyez, Hajouj is in 17th, Robin Donat is in 18th place. But we are on board with Antoine Laquiers here, Guillaume. He's trying to chase down his brother Louis, who is currently hassling the back of Jay Shepherd.
This is still his first time at the wheel of the Virtual Funcup car, shall we say. Still virtual, but still a first time for him. As we can see right now on your screen. Oh yeah, contact.
Yes, contact there. Jay Shepherd going round, and Antoine Laquiers just going into, just quite catching the back of him. So that sent Jay Shepherd round. Let's try and find what's happened to Jay Shepherd. I can just see that he's just got going again now, and he's lost 3 seconds to Antoine and Louis Laquiers. What did you make of that one, Guillaume?
It was very bizarre. I think in the first corner it just happened very, very quickly. I didn't quite see how it went, but let's just call it a race incident. Maybe I don't know if there's going to be any penalties coming up for any of those drivers, but I think that should be called a race incident. That's quite unfortunate for the driver who just went away.
To the start-finish straight, so we can see Max Leonard with Riley Phillips just ahead of us. And down the start-finish straight we go. So Max Leonard just ahead of Riley Phillips. We'll have a look on board with Riley Phillips. We can see there is Max Leonard just ahead of us. Through the first corner we go. Fantastic stuff this with Riley Phillips. Just ahead, chasing down Max Leonard. This has been a position that has changed hands. So Leonard has now gone ahead of Riley Phillips. Riley Phillips has a decision whether he wants to stick behind Max Leonard and see if the two can work together, or whether he decides to take the fight back to him and keep it a fight until the end. In the meantime, we'll have a little look at our battle for the lead, because Julian Skeen will just check in and see the gap. It still remains at around 1 second. So in fact, going back to Riley Phillips, we'll stay with Riley as we go on to another lap. And Riley Phillips doing well so far, as had a good start to the season, as Riley Phillips, fantastic first round, and did very well in the UK series so far as well, and we continue to look at him as he comes onto the start-finish straight. And Guillaume, so far, he's been quite impressive, hasn't he? Riley Phillips. We've got at least 2 battles going on. Although the field may be broken up, we do still have 2 battles, one going on for the lead and one for third.
Yeah, 2 battles that we're gonna have to keep our eye on, and this one, Maxime Minard and Riley Phillips for third position as we speak into the first corner, and the battle for victory up the ranking between Hugo de Wilde and Julien Shane.
We continue to keep an eye on Jay Shepherd closing in on Louis Laquier. So we'll go on board with Schinkel here, Guillaume, as he is trying to pile the pressure on De Cluzo.
Yeah, Schinkel here in the straight line. Oh, he's going to go for it, certainly. Trying around the inside. There he goes. And there should be no problem for him to get into a nice position. But Vincent De Cluzo might want to try to go around the inside and cross the line and get the advantage back. Shall we see what's going to happen between those two? And Schinkel, going in nice position, and he stays there. Now going around, they're going side by side around the first corner, and Schinkel got the advantage, beautifully made by the Belgian driver. Now in ninth position, Christophe Schinkel from the M3M team, one of the 9 cars aligned by the French team right now on your screen. Christophe Schinkel in front of Vincent De Cluzo in 9th and 10th position. Next one for Christophe is indeed Jay Shepherd in 8th position.
Right, let's have a look at who is outside of the top 10. So we'll see here Xavier Ville. He is in 11th and is not the battle going on for 9th place there. So Xavier Ville in 11th. Behind Xavier Ville, we have David De Siga. David De Siga running in 12th, has quite a bit of space either side. But if a battle kicks off ahead, and we could see David De Siga maybe sneak into the top 10. Down in 13th place, this is Merwayne Hajouj. Is some 18 seconds back from David De Siga, but Merwayne Hajouj trying to, it could be coming under pressure because behind Merwayne Hajouj, he has to be wary of Pierre-Andre Guillaume, who is currently in what is being shown as 15th place, but I believe that might be 14th because Eric FC was briefly displayed in the pits, and in fact, yes, Eric FC has less, so that's changing on my screen now that Pierre-Andre Guillaume is indeed in 14th place. Then behind Pierre-Andre Guillaume, we have Axel Soyez. So Axel Soyez is in 15th. We haven't seen a huge amount of him so far this evening, but Axel Soyez still circulating safely. Behind Axel Soyez and back in the race after his penalty is Charlie Hart. Young Charlie Hart in 16th. Great to have him competing. And I believe that's the rest of the runners and riders, those that are out there anyway, because Robin Donar is down in pit road. We are on board with Julian Skeen and we are heading up to the start-finish line. We are into the second half of the race, and Julian Skeen, the gap is closing down. That is what a 4/10 of a second gap looks like. Young Charlie Hart is just up the road from us, having rejoined the race. But this is your battle for the lead, and this the closest it has been for some time. It is Hugo de Wilde and Julian Skeen. Hugo de Wilde, who was the winner of the first round, being chased down by Julian Skeen here. 3.5 tenths is your gap. They are well clear from Max Leonard in third, who is also well clear from Riley Phillips in fourth. Piers Stockton in a world of his own as well in 5th place as well, with a lot of space either side. Antoine Laquiers and Louis Laquiers are getting very close together as Charlie Hart pulls out the way. I want to very quickly have a look at Louis Laquiers, just quickly to see what is going on. So looking back to Louis Laquiers, we can see he is right with his brother Antoine Laquiers. So that is a good fight going on there as well. Jay Shepherd in chase. But we must go back to the leaders because Julian Skeen Skeen, is right behind Hugo de Wilde here, Guillaume. And this, I wonder if Julian Skeen is just going to go for the overtake here, or if he's going to work with him. What do you reckon?
That's always a tricky bet, isn't it? And Julian Skeen might be asking himself the same question: what should I do now? But he's going around the outside of Hugo de Wilde on the start finish line, and shall we see who's gonna come out on top? But at the moment, I think that Julian Skeen is gonna go for it at the moment, and Hugo de Wilde is gonna have to fight back and try to keep his position as much as he can and as long as he can. But there he goes in a change for first place. Julian Skeen, I think he's going to try to go around the outside, having the advantage and the upper hand. Yes, he does, but Hugo de Wilde is trying to hang on, but he has to back up a little bit. Down in second place. Oh, beautiful. I think the two once again side by side down in the second sector. And Hugo de Wilde goes back on top. Beautiful.
Yeah, brilliant stuff there. Hugo de Wilde, as quickly as he lost the lead, gets it back again. So good driving there from young Hugo de Wilde, the Formula Renault Eurocup racer with Arden Motorsport. Julian Skeen there trying to get the cut back now out of that right-hander. He's going to be side by side here with Hugo de Wilde as they make their way towards this left. So Julian Skeen going to be on the outside here, still side by side, similar to what we saw in Assen. We had a lot of side by side racing there, and we're seeing more of it here as Hugo de Wilde defending this lead hard where he needs to from Julian Skeen. Let's jump on board with Julian Skeen as they come around the final corner. Let's see if his approach changes this time. Went to the outside last time. Let's see if he tries to find some space on the inside. Surely Hugo de Wilde ahead of us is going to dive straight to the inside as down the straight we go, and Julian Skeen this time pulls to the inside. Hugo de Wilde not covering it off, so Julian Skeen back into the lead. Hugo de Wilde will drop in behind, but he will now have a chance of getting back past. So if we come out of view, we can see Hugo de Wilde is going to try and dive back down the inside of us, and Hugo de Wilde not quite able to find a way through. So Julian Skeen now has the lead once again, Guillaume.
Yeah, beautiful between the two, and still very fair so far in this battle, and still 23 minutes to go before a checkered flag, and certainly one of the things why Dijon is so famous around the world in motorsport. And there we go again with Hugo de Wilde going around the inside in the first corner, and I think that goes through for the young Belgian who takes back the first position. But can Julian Skeen cross the line and fights back into the second sector? It's going to be very, very tight indeed, but Hugo de Wilde, yes, goes back into first position, but Julian Skeen is going to try to cross him over, but it's going to be very tight. But beautiful battle so far, still a bit more than 20 minutes to go. They're going to have to really stick to their plan and try not to do any mistake if they want to see a checkered flag in one piece.
Yeah, this is fantastic stuff, this, isn't it? This is similar to what we had at Assen, where we were side by side for just lap upon lap upon lap upon lap. It was real fantastic race. I don't know if I've seen a race where we've had people side by side for that long, and we are potentially cooking up something similar here. We have 20 minutes to go. I hope we see this all the way to the flag now. This is going to be absolutely fantastic, and I know this is really hard to take our eyes off, but I do want to quickly check in with Louis and Antoine Laquiers, because they are in a three-way scrap here with Piers Stockton. This a battle that is now on for fifth place, so this is going to be really fantastic to watch these three as well, as much as we have that battle for the lead, and that's fantastic. This another great battle going on, Guillaume.
Absolutely. I'll make a quick French update.
Yes, please.
Yes, thank you. Chers amis, eh bien, si vous nous rejoignez pour l'instant, on se rapproche tout doucement de la fin de cette deuxième épreuve de la Virtual European Funcup Series. Il reste un peu moins désormais de 16 minutes avant le drapeau à damier, et nous avons en vue pour l'instant une bataille royale, non pas à 2 mais à 3 voitures entre le pilote britannique Piers Stockton et les frères Laquiers, Antoine et Louis Laquiers, entre la 5e et la 7e position. Nous avons en bleu turquoise Pierre Stockton et les frères Lacaise qui le suivent comme son ombre. Donc ça va être superbe à suivre jusqu'au drapeau damier, cette bataille à 3. Nous étions il y a quelques instants à bord de la machine de Julien Shane aux couleurs vaillantes, cette machine engagée au nom de Chronos Events contre la Flower Power du Belgian Very Club de Hugo de Wilde. Une bataille royale également pour l'instant pour la victoire après 28 tours de bouclé. Il reste un peu plus d'un quart d'heure désormais avant le drapeau à damier et les leaders se tiennent en 2 dixièmes de seconde. Rendez-vous compte, 2 dixièmes entre Hugo de Wilde et Julien Shane. La bataille pour la victoire qui se veut royale et indécise certainement jusqu'au terme de cette heure de course ici à Dijon-Prenoir, alors que nous voyons depuis le baquet de Lacaise, eh bien un superbe dépassement, sans doute une tentative de la part de Antoine Lacaise qui va tenter de prendre l'extérieur sur Pierre Stockton, et Pierre Stockton qui ferme la porte de manière bien autoritaire dans ce double droit en dévers, ce premier virage du Dijon-Prenoir. On a vu des superbes tentatives précédemment, mais ça n'est pas passé pour Antoine Lacaise, qui demeure en 6e position, qui va devoir s'en remettre au tour suivant, peut-être pour ravir cette 5e place à Pierre Stockton. On revient en tête, comme on l'a dit précédemment, Hugo de Wilde toujours devant Julien Shane. Hugo de Wilde, vainqueur de la première épreuve de ce championnat il y a 2 semaines à Assen. En attente évidemment de la reprise de la saison 2020 de la Formula Renault European Cup. Ce sera la 2e pour notre jeune Hugo de Wilde, vice-champion de la Formule 4 française il y a de cela 2 ans. Et Pierre Stockton qui vient de partir à la foule, je pense, effectivement. And there's a bit of a mistake, Chris, from Pierre Stockton, who just dropped from 6th to 8th position, I think.
Oh, yeah, there we can see Pierce Stockton has had a spin just as we were just checking in with the leaders. It looks as if something's happened with Pierce Stockton, and he was facing the wrong way coming out of the corner. I wouldn't like to debate on whether there was contact there, but Antoine, all I can say is he has lost time as well. So clearly the two have come together. We have to go back to our leaders though, so as they are side by side. So here we can see back with the leaders now, Hugo de Wilde and Julian Skeen are once again side by side with each other, and now Julian Skeen is tucked in behind Hugo de Wilde, looking left, looking right as they come up to the light hander. Oh, Julian Skeen just getting a little bit out of shape there, and now coming up the right hander they go. Julian Skeen just getting away with that one, but pushing hard to try and get through, and still can't break Hugo de Wilde, but likewise Hugo de Wilde cannot pull away from Julian Skeen. It's absolutely fantastic racing around Dijon here in the Virtual Funcup European Series. This round number 2, and just like we saw in round number 1, brilliant racing. The only difference this time, Guillaume, is that it's for the lead. Yeah, wherever they go, let's jump on board with Julian Shane. I think you make a very good point there. As we head on to what is now going to be coming into the final 10 minutes, and Julian Shane is coming into the pits. What is going on there? Julian Shane has come into the pit lane, so I'm not quite too sure why that has happened. I'm going to see if I can find out what is going on there, but Julian Shane has dived into the pits, and what a shame that is, Guillaume, because that leaves Hugo de Wilde out on his own with a lead of 7 seconds.
That was expected. We were just talking about the possibilities of them two battling for victory until the checkered flag, and there it is. Julian Shane coming to the pits. So, chers amis, mais voilà un fait de course pour le moins inattendu avec la rentrée au stand de la part de Julian Shane en 2e position. On était en train justement de tergiverser avec Chris McCarthy sur les possibilités, en vue de la fin de course. Il reste moins de 10 minutes avant le drapeau à damier, qui allait pouvoir l'emporter entre Julian Shane et Hugo de Wilde, qui n'étaient séparés que par une poignée de dixièmes de seconde. Qui allait pouvoir l'avantage? Eh bien, pour l'instant, on a un semblant de réponse, puisque Julian Shane vient de rentrer au stand. Avait-il une pénalité peut-être qui lui pendait au nez en quelque sorte, ou a-t-il eu un problème mécanique ou peut-être électronique? On va essayer évidemment d'en savoir davantage dans les minutes qui suivent, mais le résultat est bien que Hugo de Wilde, que vous avez à l'écran, au volant de cette Flower Power du Belgian Very Club numéro 50, eh bien, se retrouve en tête et avec une avance plus que confortable, puisque Il occupe désormais le leadership avec 7,5 secondes d'avance, ça aussi, entre 7,3 et 5 secondes d'avance sur Maxime Lénard, qui avait terminé à la deuxième place déjà lors de la manche d'ouverture de Assen aux Pays-Bas. Julien Chaine qui a rétrogradé en troisième position, qui est donc toujours en piste. Julien Chaine, voilà, vous l'avez à l'écran, troisième position pour le pilote Chronos Evans au volant de cette machine aux couleurs vaillantes. Troisième place donc pour Julien Chaine qui s'est remis dans la ronde, mais qui a 12 secondes 6 de retard sur la tête de course, qui n'est pas loin de Maxime Lénard, mais sera suffisant alors qu'il reste moins de 9 minutes avant le drapeau d'Amérique pour éventuellement remonter sur Hugo de Wilde. Eh bien, ça va être toute la question de cette fin de course et qui va nous tenir en haleine jusqu'au bout. Thank you, Chris.
Right, let's have a look at battles going on down the field. I'm going to go and have a look at David De Seeger because he is about to go down the inside here of Vincent De Cluzo. And David De Seeger has made his way into 10th place. So great stuff there from David De Seeger, but now De Cluzo behind is going to be in the tow. So let's jump on board with Vincent De Cluzo as he is in the slipstream here of David De Seeger. He's going to look to the left-hand side now on the outside, and De Cluzo will make his way back past David De Seeger there and back into 10th place. So Vincent De Cluzo, as long as we don't see David De Seeger come flying down the inside, is going to be in 10th. I want to actually have a look at Piers Stockton in 8th place. Just seeing Piers Stockton. He is not too far behind Antoine Laquiers. Let's jump on board with Piers. He's got a huge gap behind, but after his little instant earlier in the race that we didn't see, which saw both he and Piers Stockton losing time. We don't quite know what happened to have caused that, but Piers is now closing in on Antoine Laquiers, and potentially we can see a round 2 fight between these two going into the final stages of the race. De Cluzo and De Seeger continue to fight, but we'll stay with this one, Guillaume, as they now come on to the start-finish straight with 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, 7 minutes to go, and we'll keep an eye on what's going to happen as well up front, the order between Maxime Lénard and Julien Chaine. This is a battle for second position, and as we have here David De Seeger and Vincent De Cluzo battling for 10th position as we speak, down in the second sector of the track. And on the left of your screen with the orange and white livery, this is David De Seeger, the Belgian driver, up into 10th position in front of Vincent De Cluzo. Those two battling hard in the start-finish straight, and David De Seeger trying to keep his opponent just behind. Pretty interesting indeed it is between this is Xavier Well, my apologies, I think against David De Seeger, but David De Seeger has the upper hand as for now. David De Seeger and Chris just had an interesting information for the end of the race from Olivier de Wilde, the father of Hugo and fellow journalist in motorsport in Belgium. He just told me that Hugo is going to wait from Maxime Lénard. We have 7 seconds between them, but Hugo is going to wait for Maxime Lénard to make the photo finish to celebrate the 1-2 for the M3M team.
I think I'm going to hand it over to you to let us call us home in French. We've got Hugo de Wilde leading, Max Leonard behind, and we've only got a couple of corners to go.
Thank you so much, Chris. Et voilà, chers amis, nous sommes dans les derniers virages, les derniers coups d'accélérateur de la part de Hugo de Wilde que vous avez à l'écran. Notre jeune représentant belge en monoplace international en Formule Renault, qui ici, il se donne à cœur joie dans le championnat européen de Virtual Funcup virtuel. Un dernier virage, une dernière remontée, un dernier coup d'accélérateur. Ce sera la victoire, le drapeau à damier pour Hugo de Wilde après une course de main de maître, une deuxième victoire consécutive pour Hugo de Wilde qui va franchir le drapeau à damier d'ici un petit instant. Voilà, ça va être fait. Et qui, comme il l'a dit, attend très sportivement Maxime Lénard en deuxième position. Voilà, la photo finish pour M3M, alors que nous sommes rentrés dans le dernier tour, semble-t-il, où le drapeau d'Amiens a été franchi. Donc voilà, la célébration est effectuée. C'est la victoire pour Hugo de Wilde et Maxime Lénard, doublé pour le team M3M de Jean-Luc Dubois, que l'on salue s'il nous écoute encore. Et une très très belle performance de la part des deux pilotes. Magnifique victoire donc de Hugo de Wilde qui l'emporte sur Maxime Linard, qu'il a sportivement attendu pour la photo finish, célébrer le doublé de la part de M3M. Julien Shane en 3e position, 4e place pour Riley Phillips, 5e position pour Louis Laquiez, 2 rangs devant son frère Antoine. Jay Shepard entre les deux en 6e place, 8e place pour Pierre Stockton, Xavier Well 9e position, 10e place pour un autre de nos compatriotes belges, David Zager, devant Vincent Duclusio. Nous avons Christophe Schinkel, 12e, Pierre-André Guillaume, 13e, Charlie Hart, 14e, Robin Donat en 15e position. Et une très très belle épreuve qui se conclut ici sur le circuit de Dijon-Prenois. Magnifique démonstration de la part de Hugo de Wilde et un très très beau doublé de la part de M3M. Bravo à eux, bravo au Belgian VW Club et merci en tout cas à toutes et tous pour ce très très beau spectacle. Thank you, Chris. This was once again one great race that we've had today in Dijon.
Thank you, Guillaume. Well, you keep yourself safe, guys, and we will see you again on the 14th of June for more Virtual Fun Cup racing.